Welcome back, everybody. Welcome if you're new. Today we're in the 305 sprint cars here at Bristol. Ran a decent time in practice. I only ran one lap down on the bottom, and that's the time I ran because I was trying to work in the middle more just so the line goes further up the track for the race. But you can definitely run right along the bottom if you can get all four tires down there and not get on the slick edge. It's a little difficult, but if you can keep the car straight, you'll be all right. Try to get as much run in as we can here. And just try to stick right on the very bottom and keep the car straight. Got a little sideways there, but shouldn't be too bad. You can get down on the apron a little bit, but it will try to kick your car out sideways. I got a little too sideways there in 3 and 4. I didn't like. Still ran a low 0, which is nice. Wanted to try to get into the 9s because I feel like the 9s or lower is going to be pole. That was a much better 3 and 4, but I don't think we'll get the time that I wanted. So far as 0, 0, 2, basically a 16 flat is the pole. I was thinking the 9s could get down there. If I could have ran a little bit better over 3 and 4, I could have probably gotten that, but that's alright. Ran a pretty good time, about what we did in practice, so I'm happy about that. So far, it looks like we'll be starting somewhat up front. Still about like 4 or 5 people to qualify, so I'll pick it up and get ready to go green. Alright, we stayed in second, which isn't bad. At least we'll be starting up front. Gonna be a little bit of a struggle starting on the outside, I feel like, but I think that's gonna be the only way to really pass. Unless somebody really messes up and moves up the track. Because if you could hold them down on the low side and they have to turn it a little bit harder off the corner, they'll probably get a little loose and lose their momentum. That's the only positive, but I think the bottom's definitely gonna be the faster way around. But if you guys enjoy this kind of racing, hit that like and subscribe if you want to see some more. And sorry for no race posted on Monday. I was trying to run the World of Outlaw sprint cars at Charlotte, but with the times I was trying to run it, literally like 2 to 3 people were registering to race it, so there wasn't enough people to run a race, unfortunately. So I was disappointed in that, but I'm going to try to run it again this week. They are at Knoxville. That should be a lot of fun. Yeah, it was just weird. It was on Sunday I was trying to run it. It was like 10:30, 12:30 during the day. I was trying to run it, and there was like nobody registering. It sucked. So that was unfortunate altogether. Hopefully we can have a good race here. Stay somewhat up front. Try to get by the 5 car somehow. Get a good launch with him. We are car number 2 out of, I think, 14 in this race. There was about like 50-ish people that registered, so there's like 4-ish splits, 4 to 5, 3 to 5, something like that. Depending on how the splits went. I'm just hoping we can have a good race. I'm happy the track started out a little bit worn in the middle, like it has. Because it's very tough to run the bottom, but it's very fast if you can hit it right. And then the farther up you run up here, it's kind of a little slower around the track. From what I've noticed, at least. The fastest I've ran on this in my last practice before the race was like a 15:8:45. It was on a little bit better of a track. It wasn't as worn out. So I know I could run that quick, but I was hoping we could pick up a little speed in qualifying from what we did in the practice in this session. Okay, we're getting ready to go. Had a really good jump, stayed literally on the outside of the leader. Gonna be able to get behind him now, which is nice. I think I literally timed that as perfect as I could. He just had the bottom for the first corner, so he pulled off right there. The guy behind me had a really good jump. He was literally in front of 3rd place and then kind of slid up in the slick in his corner and lost that spot. We're going to see if we can just stay more consistent, keeping the car straight. Felt like I got a little bit quicker of a corner than the 5 car there. He's definitely sliding up the track. Now the hard part is finishing the pass. Okay, never mind. We got by that pretty simple. I'm honestly shocked by that. And then I do the same thing where I slide up in the corner. Almost smacked the wall too off the corner, which would have been really bad. Just if you could hook the very bottom, barely get on that apron down there, and get the car to turn. 1 and 2 is a little tougher. If you can keep the car straight and go up through the slick, you'll be alright. I don't want to get that hard on the apron like that because it kind of kicks your car out sideways. It's a little slower in my opinion. That's a good 1 and 2. I like that a lot. 3 and 4. Pretty decent 3 and 4. A little bit sideways through the slick, but it's not too bad at least. You can see how wide this track's getting already. Ooh, that's real slick. Got a little too high there. That middle lane might start to come into play a little bit, I feel like, if they could run it correctly. But we're starting to pull away from this right now. But I'm not counting my chickens too early. Because we have 0.6 of a second over second place, which isn't a lot. But it's decent for now. Just have to try to keep the grip and be careful coming up off the apron.
Really?
Sounds like the 4 car got hit. I was looking at the relative because I saw a lap car coming up, but they were way far ahead. Trying to go in just straight and keeping the car as straight as I can coming up the track.
Dude, you are all over the joint.
Just trying not to turn the wheel too hard at all because these cars are very loose in the slick. But so far so good. Keeping the lead and kind of extending it a little bit. And this is only a 25 lap race. We have 1.1 over second now. Seems like the best way around at the moment because I don't want to go starting the corner up high. I don't want to start the corner up high and try to come down low and lose all the momentum off the corner. I'm trying to slide up and keep the car as straight as we can and then catch the grip on the exit, which seems to be working. Very happy about that. Could be trying to run low on the apron, but it's easy to get sideways down there. And if you straighten up really bad coming up off the apron, you can go out towards the wall and then lose your time trying to correct that. So far everything's working with what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna try to keep it up. Because we keep pulling away from second, which I'm shocked by. I really thought at some point they were gonna start catching me. But I like this track a lot. This track's very fun on any car, really. Had some great races in the limiteds, the street stocks, these cars, the 358s. I think I've run them in the super late models before, like when the track was pretty new. I think I ran this track in the UMPs, had a pretty good race, so like, this track just produces a lot of good racing. With the higher horsepower cars, you can kind of get up top and rip the edge a little bit more and get flying around this track. So the bottom kind of becomes obsolete unless you could really let off the gas and keep the car straight. The 1 car is back into second now. He's been flying. But I know he dropped back to like 4th or 5th, running the top. But he got back around the 3 and the 5. I don't know if they got together or what happened. But it might be just a little too late for him making his run up. Got 2 seconds on him with like 7 laps to go. So I have to really screw up these laps for him to catch us. We do have a lap car coming up, so that's going to be interesting if we do catch him. He's running that top side up there. Seems like the 1 car is keeping pace with us now. Unlike the 5 and the 3 who keep falling back. But yeah, this seems to be working. Just trying to keep the car straight and not get too sideways through the slick, and pretty fast. Really pulled off from the 1 car right there. Don't know what happened to him. He might have gotten sideways there. But he gained a good amount back there in that corner. 5 more times around. Come on. I'm honestly surprised on how well it worked out in the beginning for me getting around the 5. He kind of slipped up and we were able to get under him. Because I thought that he was going to be able to pinch us down a little bit and hold the outside on us for a while and then completely get back by us. The 1 car is getting a little too sideways, it seems like, because he keeps losing time. The 5 car is actually catching him. They might have a battle there at the end of the race. But these cars aren't the hardest thing to handle. They're not super easy either. You just have to be real careful on the wheel. Just keep it nice and straight. Don't worry about the wing. They start you out at 0, and that's just the way to keep it. It's usually the fast way with the sprint cars, in my opinion. Yeah, we got a 3-second lead over second. That's crazy. I'm kind of shocked by that. Especially in these sprint cars. Like, I'm still feel like I'm learning these cars, but definitely doing a lot better than I did when I started out. Last corner. Just going to go along the top and try to stay away from everything. But we had a pretty good race there. I'm very happy about that. That was about as perfect of a race as I could have at this track. We started second. If we would have started first, that'd have been the only extra thing that could have helped.
I did run Chase. Thanks for racing me clean.
The one car ended up finishing second, 3.8 back. Wow, the 1 and the 5 might have gotten together because the 3 really caught them. 3 really caught them there at the end. So I have to go back and see what the hell happened between all them. But very happy we got that. That was awesome. That was like a really good race. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a burnout. No, I just want to turn around now. I want to drive backwards. These cars have no horsepower. Let me turn around. There we go. Almost flipped the bitch too. Because I like to drive the cars backwards after a win. See how well they drive backwards and stuff. Especially cars that you can't do a burnout in. Because these things got no horsepower behind them. Doesn't drive awful. It's really tight. That might also be because of the lack of fuel that's in it now. Because we burnt it all off doing 25 laps. Because how much do we have left? 4.2 gallons? Yeah. You lose a lot of gas through the race. Kind of gets easier to drive it the farther you go in a sprint car because it gets lighter in the back end instead of pushing around. But driving backwards at this track's not bad. It's honestly not. It's just really tight at this point. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. About as perfect of a race as I could have had besides starting on the pole. Got by first place pretty early. And that worked out pretty well for us. Let's go back and see what happened in the race. I want to see the finish between these guys. This is lap 25. Oh, this was the last lap. They actually were battling there at the very end. One car goes high. 5 cars running the bottom. You can see how like quick it is along the bottom. One car tries to cut down on them. 5 has a decent corner. It kind of slips up in the middle. One car goes low, gets on the apron. He's a little sideways. 5 car keeps the car straight. Has a pretty good corner. Getting a good run on them. This is the going into the last lap. This is 3 and 4 of lap 24. 5 car had a great corner. 1 car is a little wobbly there. 5 car throws somewhat of a slider, just slid up the track a little bit too much. 1 car had a good corner, cutting down the track. Oh, and they got together. That seemed somewhat intentional in a way. Like he kind of drove straight there. Oh no, the 5 kind of came down really early. Never mind. I thought the 1 just went in straight, but the 5's coming down, which he shouldn't have been at that point. Maybe he was thinking he was going to run the middle. I don't know, but that just hooked them together and sent the 5 sideways. Good save by him overall. But that was a good race. Interesting back there, for sure. But I know that he fell back really early. Like, he was in 4th at this point. Like, he just ran the top or something early on and just fell back for some reason. I don't understand why. He was really fast. If he just would have stuck to the bottom right off the rip, he would have been fine. But I think he went up high in the very beginning. You can see he lost a little bit of time there doing that. Then he had his fight with the 4, trying to get by him. They get together a little bit. Ooh, what happened there? He slid up into him? Oh yeah, he just didn't make that corner. He completely screwed up that corner. Going in super low, hit the apron, and it sent him up the track, and he got into the 4, which is unfortunate for the 4. That's what the 4 was probably saying, which makes sense. I'd be mad at the 1 car too at that point. So the 1 car fell back again. But yeah, he moved all the way back up the field to 2nd. So if he didn't really screw up in the beginning, he probably would have been trying to race with me there for a lot of it. Yeah, he was hooking the bottom super well there. So yeah, he was very fast. I don't know what happened there in the beginning, but let's go back. Oh, he was the one that had the great start behind me. Actually, I want to go back to the very start because I had about as good of a start as you could. I was very happy with that. Like, I think I timed it pretty perfectly with the leader. Because we're rolling up. And he took a few seconds. And then the 1 car was trying to cheat up and go 3 wide, I think. And The 5 had a little bit of jump on me, not much, and then the 1 car goes high, which didn't make any sense. If he would have gone down low on me, he probably would have completed that pass, or got by us, and then the race would have been a lot harder, in my opinion. But the 5 car slipped up a little bit here, I think. No, it was in the next corner. I think he slipped up really bad in one of these. Yeah, he slipped up kind of high there, caught him a little bit off of turn 2, or off turn 4 there. He slipped up hard in 1 and 2. I was able to hook the bottom really well, get under him, and then the bottom was just super fast compared to that middle lane at that point especially, so that worked out well for us. But let's go back and see these incidents and what happened in the race. The 1 car just missing that corner, getting into the 4. 1 car sliding up right in front of the 3. Wasn't really contact, and that was really it. Was that it in the race, really? There was multiple people with 2X's and stuff, so I'm very confused. Like, what? How is those the only incidents? That incident, and then that finishes the race. That's weird. I don't know why it doesn't really show much. I know the 14 said something about the 4, I think, when he got hit. He said he was all over the track, but it didn't look like that to me. The 4 car looked fine, in my opinion. Like, he didn't look like he was all over the track, in my opinion. It was mainly the 1 that looked more all over the track than anybody to me. But where was the 14 even in this? Like, oh, he was back behind them, it looks like. Because the 1 car just really missed the corner and got into him is what it looked like. So I don't know what the 14 was saying about the 4, because he was doing nothing wrong, really, in my opinion. He ended up coming back, finishing 5th, which isn't a bad finish, but top 5, finished top 5. The 14 car finished 6th, so he's going to get a good game, probably. We end up winning the race, which is awesome. Very happy about that, so we should gain some iRating. Let's go see what we end up getting out of this. Alright, strength of field, just over 2,600. Not a bad strength of field. There was 4 different splits. A lot of people registered for this. The 14 car actually ran the quickest lap of the race. Good lap by him. Ran it on lap 5. I ran the same lap. Was my fastest lap. A lot of people around that time was their fastest, except for number 12. He ran his fastest on lap 20. That's kind of funny. Maybe he finally found the bottom there at the end. I have no clue what was happening, unless he ran a good lap on the top for his time. Not 100% sure, but happy we did what we did. Got the lead on lap 3, pulled away from everybody, and just ran away with it pretty much. It was about as perfect as it could have been. Wasn't like super entertaining, I wouldn't say, but hopefully you guys got a little bit of insight on how I think in these races, just trying to keep the car straight, and you just see what I was doing, and hopefully you can translate to the way you guys run as well and get some wins also, which would be great. We gained 51 iRating. That's actually a ton for where we're at in iRating, because I usually don't gain that much. Even in a win, I usually gain like 25, 30, something like that. So 51's a lot. I'm very happy about that. Gained a little bit of safety back as well. Only a handful of people had 0x, which is kind of crazy. It didn't really show any of the incidents through the race, it seems like, even though it seemed like there was plenty. So I don't know what happened with all that, but overall, good, clean race up front for me, and I was able to pull away, which is awesome. Really was not expecting that, but I got a lot of champ points for that too, which is shocking. But it was a pretty decent strength of field, I would say. But I don't run these every week anyways. I want to try to get to the 8 weeks ran in these, just so I have... You can get the $4 from it or whatever at the end of week 13. That's always nice to do. Just get your max of 10 each week 13. It helps a lot to just getting other tracks or other cars that come out and stuff, so that's nice. So appreciate you guys for watching as always. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the race. Let me know how you guys did in your race earlier this week, or if you plan on doing it this week, good luck, and hopefully you guys can get some wins. Let me know how it goes, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.